At Glory of Christ Church, we win souls, empower members, the body of Christ, and transform the community for the glory of Christ through the grace reality word that is continually preached, weekly fellowships, daily devotions, which have seen lives fully acquainted about righteousness and spiritual growth. The community is as well at the heart of this ministry, and a vivid life transformation is daily experienced.
Glory of Christ Ministries embarked on a great mission. This mission was to create projects that solve needy people's problems through creating projects that affect their lives positively, hence winning souls for Christ.
The Glory of Christ Church started as a fellowship, and actually our aim was to do evangelism, and at one time we preached in different places. But while we were preaching in Entebbe, Ugonga, we found ourselves that there was no church, and our intention was to start a church. Our intention was to preach the gospel, but we found out that it was demanding. People who had believed in Christ demanded that we should have a church there.
By 2020, the ministry should have created over 5,000 jobs to address the problem of poverty in the communities.
So here at Glory of Christ, we are using different mechanisms of winning souls. One of them is the medical center.
When we look at Glory of Christ Medical Center, the bigger vision is having a hospital where we can provide a service to everyone.
Najana ku Glory bandagirira nempereza gyemfunye obujanjabi bunzanisiza nnyo mbafuse ba Luganda mbadde wano nga buli omu anneewuunya ngamba ng'onyiridde olubuto nga lukunyiriza.
On a daily basis, people walk in and out of the hospital for services, and the services are specially tailored to cater for the members within the ministry and the communities surrounding.
Glory Medical Center offers a number of services. We do have antenatal services here. We have medical services. We have dental services. We have immunization and even referral services and more.
We do outpatient, we do inpatient, and we work in 24 hours. So I would say, yeah. So of all the services that we do have, they are pretty more like those of a medical, of a hospital generally.
Overwhelmed by the demand of services, the hospital needs to be expanded.
Glory Medical Center, our aim in the next 25 years is to have a fully fledged hospital, a referral, and at the same time different branches in different localities where our churches are.
Though this good work has been going on, many are the challenges that need to be done.
We are challenged by equipments. We need to have an ambulance, because if things go wrong, where do you get going? How do you get them to the next referral center? We are here to reveal the glory to the community. This is how we do it. We reveal His love and His grace and the gospel to the community head on. So we have outreaches. We should have more than what we are doing now. We are doing one outreach per 3 months, per quarter. We should be having at least an outreach per month, because in these outreaches, people get a chance to give their lives to Christ as they come to access the free services. So I should say, when you talk about the need, if we could have more sponsorship, more funding, at least an outreach can cost less than $300. That can take, and we can have more souls. Of the few outreaches we've had, at least each outreach, we don't get less than 20 people giving their lives to Christ. But even then, accessing health services.
And we lack the X-ray. We don't have an anesthetic machine. We don't have a ventilation machine. So, such a case you cannot handle. You can't risk somebody's life.
There was need to avail resources to help the needy and the poor, hence the birth of the savings and the credit circle.
If we are a church and we are to transform communities, we have to remember, to put it in mind, that we have to remember the poor, because our gospel has been sent to the poor. Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor in the spirit." Even we have the poor in physical. So therefore, savings and credit is a means through which to avail resources into the hands of those who have not.
The circle is one of the arms of the church that is looking at community empowerment.
Glory Circle is a member-based financial institution which has been put in place by Glory of Christ Church as a tool for the development and empowering of the members of the church and the community. And mainly it works in a way that members come together and then save money, and then through this saving, then it is what we use to loan out to different members to improve their social and economic needs.
Financial freedom of an individual is a great tool that helps local communities realize their full potential.
Era nyambye bingi era nga nyongerera maaso era mbadde nga ngenda maaso n'okutambula ne Glory okuva 2014 natambula ne Glory era kati wentuusiza w'amaanyi siri bubi okusinzira we nali kuba nali bubi. So kakati yanyamba n'okutandikako essomero. Atandika essomero mpola mpola.
Specifically, Glory Circle targets the unbankable. Those are the people below the pyramid. They can't access loans for financing from any commercial bank. Otherwise, they don't qualify. That's why we term them unbankable. The first product we offer is mainly training. Saving also becomes another product. So the saving, we have different kind of savings. We have what we call voluntary saving, whereby you just wake up every day and save any amount you have. Then we also have another kind of saving that earns interest to motivate these people. Then we have what we call loan products. Loan products, they are people who, after saving, people start businesses. But sometimes the capital is not enough. Yeah, as they mobilize maybe small savings, then the capital is not enough. We do give them loans. And in these particular products, we have what we call group loans. These ones mainly go to those ones who are mainly in the worst state. So we encourage them to make a groups of 5. These groups of 5 are trained through the various trainings I have taken you through. After the savings, then they form a group. Then the group is given a loan. And that loan is managed through the entire group. So we call them group loans. Those ones don't have collaterals. They don't have any security to offer. What they offer is their presence. Then we have individual loans. Those ones we give them to members individually. And these are mainly developmental loans. People have built houses. People are building small businesses. So those individual loans, they have business loans, then individual loans, and mainly it helps us also to cover those particular people who are at least a bit, who have maybe some kind of collateral. They have businesses, but the businesses are struggling. Then we give them that kind of support through those loans. We buy land and also sell it to the members. We realize that most of our members don't have collaterals they can offer for securing loans. So we realize that buying for them land will be another product, and they pay in small installments.
The bank is now faced with the problem of expensive capital, hence the need for cheap, accessible capital.
We also get loans from other financial institutions. Yeah, and we found the range has been between 28 to 36% per annum. So the cost of capital is a bit high. If we get cheaper funds, could use for loaning, otherwise the loan demand and the activities, the loan demand is high. We have also diversified our portfolio from commercial loans to land loans, whereby we just buy land and give it to members. And there the demand for land, the cost is high. So if we could get maybe cheaper loans or funds or donations or grants, that can help us to facilitate this product, because it has been so profitable. One, it has been profitable. Another thing, it has helped us to settle all our members in one place, because previously they used to be scattered in very many places. But having land for them in one place, it helps to solidify them in one place. And then it bonds them to Glory Circle. It doesn't only bonds them to Glory Circle, it also bonds them to Glory of Christ Church, because they have a sense of belonging. They know it is through Glory of Christ Church that they have been able to get this land. So it bonds them to the church. And also another thing, it bonds the fellowships. Because when all these people are built in one place, they can always have, fellowships in these particular places. So it continues to bond the spiritual. There is a spiritual bonding also through the fellowships. So mainly that we are looking forward to buy much land. And from land, we are also beginning a housing project to house for these people. Many have been able to buy land, but many are not able to build, because the housing cost is high in Uganda. So what we are planning as a way forward, we are planning to come up. We have a housing project in the pipeline to build these small affordable houses. Maybe we can look at each house at around $10,000. That is the cost of $10,000 per house. So if we are looking at $10,000 per house, and we have maybe 1,000 houses in a site, so these people can pay in installment. We can give them 10, 20 years to pay. Instead of paying rent in their slum areas, as you will see them, they live in difficult places, slums. Instead of paying rent in these slum areas, then the person is paying off his or her house. That's what we are planning.
First of all, you have to look around that this community is a slum area, low income earners, poor people. Let me say, people are the best. This is where they run to. Whoever comes from anywhere, from any part of Uganda, is just looking from where to start from. The first place he thinks about is either Kasubi or Bwayise or whatever. Now, you have to know that in Uganda, we don't have a born-again Christian bank. And this is going to be one of its kind. And every institution will help its own people. We have the Hindu in Uganda, we have the Buddhas, we have the Muslims, we have the Catholics, we have even even business people. But these people will never look into the interests of the church. So in the next 5 or 25 years, we are looking at the bank, a first born again Christian bank.
Nakedde kumakya nga mpulira essanyu nga mpulira ng'embuuti entalaweeri nga nkuba bakusimba gitaddemu ebisoko nga n'atendereza atuuseebuziba nabadde nkutte ekikopo kya caayi omwana ne mugamba kisse mu fulasiko ebyengatto najjukidde waggulo nti nabadde nsambadde nakibaliga omanya ekikwata ku yesu ntabuka ze nesibirawo kisenso n'embiibya bwe bosekerera ebyo bibyogwonumanyi buuza mukyala dawudi eyaseka ebyamutuukako kabaka w'abakabaka ali ku namulonde empologoma ya yuda eri mu nnyumba
My name is Irene Herbert from Uganda, Kampala. Glory of Christ Church, that is my church. That is where I fellowship from. My pastor, at the same time, my husband, Herbert Chwanaga. I lead a ministry called Heart to Heart. Mainly, it's for girls. Yeah, we started it. I think it's now like 5 years. Heart to Heart, we have a vision. Yeah, our vision is revealing the glory of Christ, by mending the broken hearts. And our mission is to know Christ, who can transform someone's heart. And the motto we are walking in, we can do all things through Christ, who can strengthen us. Heart to Heart, mainly for girls. But as for now, we cannot say that it's only for girls, because we've also seen the need for the boys. We help girls who cannot afford education. we share the little we have. I cannot say that we have much money that we can educate everyone, but we share the little we have for those who cannot afford to go to school. The second thing we do in Heart to Heart, we educate them and we train them in handcraft, at least for them like to have a future. Like we have some girls who are school dropouts. Sometimes they don't have something to do. They don't have, they have nowhere to go, nowhere to sleep. We train them how to make bags, jewelries. Actually, this is one of the jewelries they do. We train them how to make their own clothes, how to sew clothes. And out of that, sometimes we do exhibition. So when we do exhibition, we call people, and they come and they see what they do. So to support them so that they can go to school and even to get something to eat, because some of them they are raped by their own fathers. They have been abused by so many people. Some of them are impregnated. They don't know the fathers of their children. So what we do, we rehabilitate them so that at least they have something to do. We teach them at least they have something which they can do and get something to eat. The reason why we are doing that, we are trying to build their future, because some of them they don't even have hope. So we try at least to build like their future, to make them understand that they are also important people in the world. Even we are planning to get homes for our vulnerable children. At least we get them where they can stay, where we can monitor them from, where we can teach them the word of God. I'm staying with some of them at the moment, but my house cannot accommodate, all of them. So some of them we help them from their homes, where they come from. They go to school, they go back to their homes. So those who do not have homes, at least I try to accommodate them in my house. But my house is a little bit small. It cannot accommodate all of them. So what we are planning to do is to build for them a home. They call us like on their functions, wedding functions, birthday parties, so many functions. So when they call us, we use the talents that God has blessed us with we bless the people, at the same time we make money, so that we educate our children. I call upon people who can help us or who can stand with us in this. Maybe you can stand with us financially, through prayer.
Birungi Catherine, the field officer in the Glory Education Fund, blesses the Education Fund for putting a smile on the helpless children and equipping them with knowledge to face the future.
It's such a joy because first of all, right from when we go to them, I've been to their homes, I've been to their schools, I've interacted with them, with their parents, with their guardians, and man, it's so amazing.
Glory Education Fund is another arm of community empowerment of Glory of Christ Church as a bigger family. Now we realize that if you go to the Acts of Apostles, the Bible says that none of them lacked a thing because they are working together. Now we realized as a team that when the church is growing, definitely we are not at the same level. But then how do we pick up those who cannot make it to get to our own level? So that's where the Education Fund comes in.
Namutevi Hanifa from Good Times Infant School, with a dream of becoming a doctor, is so thankful for the support.
Education Fund has helped me in school fees, books and pens. I want to be a doctor when I grow up.
Chigozi Raymond from Kawala Primary School is also thankful.
Has helped me in many things like paying for me school fees. I grow up,
I want to be a doctor.
But one of the challenges that we've encountered, that as you're interacting with some of the parents, some children are going to miss school. Maybe they don't even have where to sleep. Some of them don't even have. They tell you that maybe we've not even had something to eat.
So I would say the biggest challenge is funding at the moment. We can only take care of that because it comes from what the church is doing, from different well-wishers, members of the church. The church has not gotten a particular pool for the funding. So we collect the funds, maybe at the beginning of the year or beginning of the term. We get to those children and we do what we can do. When we talk about community empowerment, it is not only in the city center. So Glory of Christ as a church came up with a community empowerment, even the people far away, like the islands. So when we talk about the Glory Arena, it is, I think, an hour's drive from Kampala, the city center, the capital, in Mpigi, off Masaka Road. We get to a landing site called Buvumbo, and then you take a boat. It's a ride of 45 minutes to the island. It is quite a big area. The church was able to acquire a chunk of land of about 45 to 50 acres of land. And the major reason why we got this land was to empower the people in these areas. So the land is now, we started with a fellowship center because we wanted to start empowering the faith of the people to know Christ before they know the product that we want to do. But as I speak now, we are running 6 to 7 acres of banana, of a plantation, banana plantation. There is a church at the center, which has, I think, close to 40 members or now. Now, the island has a population of over 30,000 members. It has several landing sites across it, and it's in the middle of the lake. But it's quite a big chunk of land. The bigger picture on the island is we want to have a church, number one, a fellowship center. We want to, empower or transform the social well-being. So we want to have a medical center, a hospital as such. We also plan to have schools. They don't even have a single secondary school in the whole island. So we want to plan to have a school at the center, but also plan to have a beach area where people can come, they can rest. We're thinking of a hotel, maybe a 5-star hotel. Who knows what the Lord can do? So that is the bigger area. We want to transform that other islands can come to our island and they get to see the glory of the Lord.
I'm Dr. Tendo David. I'm a veterinarian by profession, and I'm glad to be on this team, the Glory Arena team, to work to develop this place to ensure that the reason why it was set up comes to pass. When we came to this place, we were able to do a needs assessment, and we realized many challenges in this place. And one of them, it was the medical care. They're having a few countable clinics on this place, and if someone is having any medical challenge, they have to cross over to the mainland. So that is one of the huge challenges that we need to address by creating, easing the access to the medical services on this island. And the second one was the island is closed off from the mainland, and this poses many challenges. People having their produce, but connecting it to the main island becomes a problem. So one of the ways to open it up to the mainland is by having a freely an easily accessible ferry which can easily be able to transport these people's goods and other products to the main island. And another challenge was their livelihoods was a huge problem. Income is a big problem in here, and one of the ways we are planning to solve that is by enhancing their skills to be able to transform their livelihoods. And how is that going to happen?
These are fishermen, and most of their catch goes to west, as you know, and yet that would have been a great revenue for them. It would have collected them a great revenue for them. So thinking or what we need to do there is a well-streamlined transport system. That means like you build a jetty, you build a ferry that is able to transport their goods, also to help them with housing, real estate, with the housing needs. Otherwise, they are living in shacks. These are, they just live anyhow because they don't have what it takes. And these are some of the things we think and we believe that's what we have to do. That way, you will preach the gospel and you will have empowered lives.
When you look at this island, one of the major economic activities it is agriculture. They are having their gardens and farming, and at the same time they're having a few animals. So we want to work with them to boost up their skills, to transform their agriculture from subsistence to commercial farming.
Namat of Kelodonia says much needs to be done to develop this island.
Tuzibu gwe tusinga okusanga wano ku kizinga kyaffe tetulina gwaliro, tetulina masomero.
Abasooka bakiwonga nnyo mu sitaani.
Sunday Emmanuel Salongo, who through a vision was revealed this beautiful place, received his message.
Nayitibwa ku kizinga kuno gwali mwaka gwa 2014. Obuzibu bwe tusanze oba bwe nsanze nganze n'abantu bennyini bensanzeeyo nti tuli mu bantu abatamanyi Katonda. Mukama mulungi nti abantu abamu batandise okuba nga bagoberera mpola mpola.
This vision requires a lot of financial support. So we would really appreciate different partners who would want to partner with us by providing financial resources to be able to run all these activities that we are hoping to do. And we believe that we will be glad to work with you and to ensure that these communities realize and improve livelihoods, and the glory of Christ will be manifested in this place.
Media and IT department, and this is one of the key areas. When you realize in our church, I would say 70% are youth, and when we look at the level of education right now and where we're going to, the church is moving, the world is moving, it's more dynamic now. So we had brains in church which had a lot they could do, and we need to accommodate them. They are very fast. So that's why we came up with a media and IT department.
We have two departments. We have the main IT department and the main media department. In the IT department, we have computer training, we have website designing, computer repair and maintenance, database designing. We do lab maintenance in schools. That's what we do in the IT department. And in the media department, we shoot all kinds of functions. Right from weddings, introduction, birthday parties. We have the production team in the media department that looks at salmon production, whereby we shoot our own program. That is the finished work program that runs on LTV. We do documentaries, now like this one. We also do documentaries like this one.
As a church, our idea was one, to get them employment, but number two, to have their creativity in Christ, so that what they know, what they can do, they don't do it in the world. They do it for Christ in there. So that's why we got into the media and IT department, a section where these guys are doing a lot, how to do with the video, with the editing, with the social media, and they're really building the nation, the church, and the body of Christ at large. These are the people, these are the minds. They come up with the ideas, places and venues and shooting areas. They are the people behind the church social media, where you can get to know what we are doing on the church website and Facebook pages. So these are the brains behind that.
Now, the problems we have more so are the machines. We see that most now, like for example, in the IT department, the computers are very few and their capacity is not that good. You may see that the specifications are not good, like in terms of RAM, processor speed, and we find these things to be expensive. So more so on our market here. Now, we need cameras that are on the current state. Currently, we have only 2 cameras, and we need like a range of 7 to 10 cameras. Like also in church, we have some equipment we need to use like jib, drones, but you find that we hire these things and yet they're very expensive, and we almost use them at a weekly basis. So you see that it is costing us highly, and so we need some of these equipments. So whoever would want to stand with us, it will be a very good blessing.
Is it true that you are thinking of me? How you love me? It's amazing. I am a friend of God. I am a friend of God. I am a friend of God. He calls me friend.
Well, we are the salt of the world, and wherever we are, we have to effect change. Now, that is the major role of Glory of Christ Church, to do community transformation. Can help a person in a community. It can be financial, it can be workshops, it can be trainings, it can be donations, it can even be equipments. I mean, whatever you can do can save a soul, can help a life, can transform a nation. God bless you so much. Thank you.
Follow more and more of this. Follow us on our social media and the numbers on your screen. God bless you.